Hey there folks, I'm back here at this incredible new discovery here that someone let me know about on YouTube, this incredible palm here in Washington DC, one of DC's finest, and what may now be the biggest in the area. And I just a little bit of background. I spoke to the owner after I finished filming last time, who said that he a friend of his gave it to him, or a friend of his planted it a while ago, and he didn't know exactly when, but he said it was a long time ago. And he said, I asked him, he said it had never been protected ever, just completely unprotected. And he said he was really surprised. He didn't really know much about palms, but he was just very surprised to see that it had survived for all those winters. And he said, yeah, it's had no problem. And that means it's gone through 2014 unprotected, which is pretty rare for DC area windmill palms. That winter killed a lot of windmill palms in the area. And so specifically what I want to talk to you about today, since I just made a video on it recently, was where to plant, I guess, just palms generally. I guess in DC this applies mostly for windmill palms and more marginal palms, not like beetle palms and sable minor, but where to plant palm trees in more marginal climates for best protection in cold winters. And yeah, but before I start, I want to say that I think that there was actually another windmill palm here. I believe from Street View, it looked like there might have been another one planted up front here, which got taken out. And that could be for a number of reasons. Maybe it's a less hardy strain, but it also could have been for the reason I'm about to mention, which is the planting location. So yeah, first thing you want to take into consideration is where your house is located. So I'm here north of downtown DC. This is going to be a more in the 7B side as opposed to 7A. You're down here a little bit lower elevation than to the north, a little bit lower, just latitude wise than like where I live. And you're here in the city in a good area, and you don't have like a lot of like parks or anything. I mean, you have parks, but you don't have like a lot of just open space. You have a lot of development here. So what that means is that you have all these houses packed together, all this concrete, all the sidewalks. And what that does is it creates what's known as an urban heat island, which is basically where the heat and everything from the pavement, from the sidewalk, basically radiates heat off. So if on a cold day, it's like in the 30s right now, and that's supposed to be in the 60s and 70s this week, but on a cold day like this, the sun will shine down and it'll radiate off the pavement and stuff, and it'll sort of create a heating and sort of insulating effect off the houses and everything that you won't have in like a forest, for example, which does not really insulate heat well. So this is in the middle of what's known as an urban heat island, and a great location to start with for growing windmill palms, one of the best in the area. And that can, you'll see in DC, it creates a little microclimate for, maybe a few square miles, where you have temperatures consistently 1 degree, sometimes 2 degrees warmer than elsewhere. Now you may think 1 or 2 degrees is nothing, but when it gets to like into the single digits, which is incredibly rare here, it hasn't gotten to the single digits at all this winter, but right in those bad winters it does, like 2014. 1 or 2 degrees can make a lot of difference, and it can mean the difference between survival and death for a palm, and for like a windmill palm. And so basically we're in this urban heat island. That's good in terms of where the house is located. Now in terms of where to actually plant in front of the house itself, you have you can plant it in the back, in the front. There's lots of obviously planting options, but what you really want is a south-facing wall. Now a south-facing wall is the reason that you want it is because of the way wind flow occurs. You have various wind patterns and stuff, and wind is what can kill a lot of palms. Not just cold. It can be 20 degrees, 20 and windy, with wind chill. It's known as wind chill. Wind chill will make it feel a lot colder, and with those palms, it can really beat them up. I've experienced this myself, and so those cold winds can really harm a palm. And that's why sometimes when a windmill palm is planted in a good location, if it grows like over the top of the house, then it's exposed to those winds that can kill it. Thankfully, this house is really tall, so it's gonna be a number of years before this palm gets over the top, and hopefully then maybe it'll be established enough. But this palm is just incredible. I mean, it's really insane. It is so massive, giant palm tree, and that's the key, is that not only, obviously I'm not, I didn't choose where I grew up, so I'm not in the urban heat island, but still, I'm in a bit of a colder location than some other areas in the DC area. But you got to choose, within your yard, you can have, even within a small yard, you can have one or, you know, you can have 1 degree differences between an exposed windy location and a south facing wall. And the other reason you want south facing wall is, or just up against a wall generally, is the, not only do you have the urban heat insulation, but you also have insulation coming out of the building. Maybe you have a vent or something that blows heat out there. It's just really good, and it does create insulation. You know, when I first heard that, I wasn't like, I didn't really understand how a wall or something could actually help a palm. But when you see just what the wind does to those fronds, you know, even unstable minor and stuff, which are bulletproof here, those fronds can get really tattered in those winter breezes, winter winds. So that south facing wall is really key. And yeah, that may have been the difference between why, if there was truly another windmill palm here, as I think there was, why that one survived, is that, you know, those winter winds coming down this block here, which do, that's the thing that sometimes DC actually doesn't have any skyscrapers because they have height restrictions, but in a city like Manhattan, you have these wind tunnels where, because all these tall buildings line the sides of the streets, the middle of the street, the wind blows right down and creates like a funnel where all the winds tunnel down. And think about it, if a current's flowing here, it can be quite cold in winter, and then it can be blowing like a palm was planted here, but against the south facing wall you have other porticos and stuff sticking out and protecting the palm from the wind. And that may sound like, oh, that doesn't really mean anything, but believe me, it can make a difference. And this palm is, you know, right up against the house, great location, and I mean, just perfect planning job. And you know, I mean, it's just amazing, looks fantastic, and just a beautiful palm. Amazing. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And take care. Gorgeous palm. Take care, folks.